Hi, good morning. My name is Matt Call. I'm one of the operations section chiefs here on the Monroe Canyon Fire. I work with Great Basin Team 3. Yesterday you talked to Mike. Today you're going to talk to me. I don't have the beard power that Mike does, so I do have an iPad, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to show you the iPad right here and have you come in. We're going to share screen, and I'm going to kind of show you some stuff that we haven't looked at a little bit before. All right, so what you're looking at right now is what we call an infrared image of the fire that we got last night. And this is the Monroe Peak Fire, and north is up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this so we can see what the fire looks like from Monroe. And as we sit in here, this is what a lot of the people are seeing in Monroe. And the edges of this fire, where it's yellow or where we had active fire. So I'm going to talk a little bit about last night. We have people working 24 hours a day. And last night, they were in and around in Manning Meadows, and they found a tree torching next to some structures. They were able to put that out and put that to bed. But it's just a good testament to the workers that are out there working 24 hours a day, keeping your property safe. And we are going to continue to do that until further notice, just keeping people 24 hours a day going. These IR maps help us find some of those heat. So as we're looking at what we call Division Alpha, here in the canyon, the crew's going up, and they're working this edge right here that we're looking at, and they're going along here and constructing what we call a hand line. And this yellow spot here is in the center of the screen is actually a spot fire, and there's two more below that. So this technology allows us to find those and then go attack those, because those become problems or can become problems for us later as the fire or as the conditions dry out. So that's kind of what Division Alpha is doing, and they're going to be continuing to work along this edge right here. One of the things you're going to see on the map tomorrow is a little bit of edge on the fire will look black, and what we call that containment, and then we'll start showing some containment percentage, and you're going to start seeing that happen in some other parts of the fire. So we're going to spin this around, and they're going to take all the way to the center, and we see, I believe, Hunts Lake. They're going to take a direct line right along the edge there from Hunts Lake, and then coming south, they were looking for some other options to tie that in out to some lighter fuels, because it gets a little more complicated in the terrain there. I'm going to spin back up around here. I'm going to go back out so we can orient. And we're going to look at this canyon to the north, and you can sort of see how steep this is, and this orange is where we've got a lot of heat. You can see putting people in there, it's steep, and it's kind of nasty, and it's not real practical to follow all these little edges with hand crews, and we don't have the resources to do that. So we're trying to focus on our priorities now, which are in and around the structures. But we are going to see smoke and heat up in there, and that's going to continue to have some fire backing down the canyon, and we'll see that through the next coming days. As we circle around here, here's some other heat spots, and I'll show you a different map that you can kind of see where these areas are when we look at the structures. I'm going to make this go north again, and we can see we do have some heat up on the north and east side. Our trouble area right here, all of these continuous fuels that head up towards Magleby. I'm going to switch maps and show you the map, one of our tactical maps that we use. So all of the people that are on the ground right now and the work that they're doing are using this map. So we're going to start in Magleby. And all of these symbology, all these pictures and doodads on here showing what they're doing. So as an example, all of this hash mark, these are all dozer lines. And if you've been up there, there's a bunch of fuels work and a bunch of slash piles, and that's what all of these small dozer lines are doing. What that's doing is helping protect them from getting fire in them so they don't cause a heat source that can threaten the residents in Magleby. So we have a bunch of crews up there. What they're doing is, as in all the communities, they're doing structure protection, setting up hose, setting up pump kits, sprinkler kits where appropriate, and doing structure prep, minimizing fuels around the houses. And all of these structures have little icons by them and little data points where all of the resources, all the engines that go in there, they can kind of grab these and look at them, so that as resources come in and out, they can, even if they haven't been there, they have information to use to go in there and help protect your structures. This piece right here is a piece of road with R on it, and that's where we're actually using the road as a contingency line to keep this fire that you're seeing in the center from moving more to the west. The purple is proposed line that we're working on a plan. In the center here, so we've got Monroe Meadows to the left and Bagley Ranch to the right, and all of this edge, we're going to show you some photos of what the edge of this fire looks like. What we call is it's a mosaic kind of burn. It's really kind of a dirty edge. It's not real clean, so we can't really go in and make a super good fire line on the edge because it's not a real definitive edge. So we try to use a road or a dozer line to try to connect these dots to help kind of create a continuous edge. And you can see with the amount of structures and roads in here, there's a lot of work that these folks are doing in there to mitigate. And then as we have heat pop up along those edges, we have engine crews going in there. As you've seen on some of the videos, they're spraying, they're doing some mop up, and they're also constructing some line in those areas that actually will help protect those structures in and around the roadways and the private property. Along those roads, there's a lot of heavy fuels. We have some logging equipment coming in today that's going to help remove some of those heavy fuels and kind of create a barrier between the heavy logging slash and these neighborhoods. We're going to move down south to Manning Meadows, and we're going to start seeing a little bit more black line in some of these areas. And again, that's just contained edge. We're not going to see a lot of contained edge along the entire fire for a few days because there's so much line out there. We're going to try to take care of those priority areas where the structures are. But on the outskirts, as we've talked in some of the other meetings, we're looking at a lot of other big pictures, other big picture options. So if you look at some of these purple lines, those are some of our big picture planning tools where we're looking at dozer lines and fuel mitigations and other options like that to help keep this fire in as small of what we call a box as possible. Going down south here to kind of tie into the full circle, in Manning Meadows, we're just finishing up mopping up. We still have, that was where we had the tree torching out last night, so there is still heat along the line. Even though we've gotten a lot of moisture, there is still a lot of heat in there and hiding, and as it heats up today and over the next few days, you're going to see more smoke and you're going to see more fire, and we're prioritizing where we're finding those to make sure that we can mitigate those and keep your property safe. One of the tools we're using is a drone, or what we call an unmanned aircraft, and that drone has an infrared camera on it. It flies around and it finds the heat, and then it gives us a GPS point, and we can send crews in there. Even if the crews can't find it, our technology can, to go find those things that are threats to mitigate those as good as possible. So it's a little bit different briefing for you guys today. Hopefully over the next few days we'll kind of add to this and give you guys as much information as possible. And please let us know if you have specific questions. We can address them in the coming days. And with that, that'll conclude our briefing, and we'll see you tomorrow.